So what's up, everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer. I can't even snap right now. Today we are looking at a pair of figures that honestly nearly broke my channel. That's right, I've had these guys now for well over a week. I haven't posted a video since my last video, which I think was at Arkham City Joker. Riddler. I'm not quite sure. It's been that kind of time. I have recorded 3 videos for these guys. This is this is 3.5 now. I originally started just doing a video for Kahlee here, and I was going to do Pale unto himself. And the more I messed with these guys, I found more things. I found things I liked. I found new things I liked. I found things that annoyed me. I found even more things that annoyed me. It's just, this is a unique setup here. These are the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Pale and Kahlee. These are fantastic independent figures. They're made by Spiro Toys. You can find them. You can actually find these at Spiro Toys' website, as well as Big Bad Toy Store. And I mean, you hear me right now. I'm still semi-speechless. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with these guys. I had to get this video out. YouTube is probably burying me now because of my lack of content. But these guys did it. Yep. As far as I can tell, Pale is the main guy, and Kahlee is the main villain. So, and that in itself gives me a little bit of an issue. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, we're going to talk some of the basics with Pale, and then we'll bring out Kahlee again to talk about some more of the nuances about these figures. So, let's kind of get all this stuff together here. So, here we have Pale here. One of the first and most important things to know about these figures, Spiro Toys, this is an independent thing. This is not hooked up with any media. This is not hooked up with any... They have their own comic book, yes. This is kind of like in the vein of Action Force, of a guy making his own thing. The quality of the materials of this is A++. This is more solid than any Hasbro figure I own. That needs to be stated. The plastic is heavy. The plastic is solid. The joints are tight. I can't say a bad thing about the quality of a product I have here. The joints, like I said, they're tight. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. I know I'm not the only one. I mean, there's reviews for these guys out. You want more details? Absolutely, you can find them out there. But I mean, so this is going to be more of my opinions than a full showcase of the figure. But I mean, the ab crunch, it's got a slight ratchet to it. I love that. The waist is on a ball joint, not the typical Marvel Legend, like, where it's just a cut in the plastic and a mushroom peg in there. All the shoulders have butterfly joints that have distance on there. The neck itself is on it's got a disc hinge and a peg in there, which works pretty well except for some aesthetic choices, and we'll get into that shortly. The detail in the fur, all this armor, this is all modular. You can unpeg the hand, that'll slide out. Heat up the foot, the knee, this will slide down. So it's great. So the details in the accessories, I mean, 1 color paint, 2 color paints, the color of the plastic, he himself's got multiple colors on here. Yay. When it comes to, again, the articulation, 90 degree on the hip, forward, almost all full back, yay. I think the only thing I'm probably in want of is a toe joint, and that's just me being nitpicky. Seriously. Just Jay Hernandez. He has got a phenomenal video. Is it Just Jay or just Jay Hernandez? Anyway. But his video is a great breakdown. I actually like his better than D Amazing's video of why you should get this figure. The weapons. The accessories. all this, everything is imperfect in the right ways. You know, the axes are chipped, the handles have got grains to them, multiple colors on the wood here. All the weapons themselves are themed with the character. So Pale, you know, he's got this burgundy and silver. Bring Kahlee back. All his stuff is blue and gold. So everyone's weapons feels like it's made for them. They don't have the same weapons. You know, Pale's got these 2 sickle daggers. He's got a sword. He's got a short sword, and he's got an axe. In some ways, I feel they've got more accessories than they need. I've been spoiled by the G.I. Joe figures because I can put almost all the G.I. Joe weapons on a figure. So, like, Pale's got the 2 daggers, these 2, and he's got a slight scabbard for his sword. That I like. But I would love to have had some kind of clip on here. You know, there's a little hole, so I could have had a hook to hang that on there. Another place to hold his axe. Bring back Kahlee here. His accessories. He's got these 2 great swords, and each sword is slightly different, which I love. You know, their handles are different. Again, you look at the notching in the sword. These things have look like they've been in battle. He also has a pistol, which is great. My only criticism on the pistol, and I probably can fix this myself, is I would have liked a little bit of black paint down the barrel to make it look like there's depth to it. Okay, that's it. That's the only criticism to it. Except for a place to hold it. You know, he's got the pistol, fine. I would love to have had scabbards for these swords. While I've got Kahlee out, all the hands they come with are all in and out, with the exception of this one hand, which has the roll of the dice swivel to it. That's great for a sword. That's also great for the pistol. You know, it gives that look to it. Again, everything is fluid. It's fantastic on that. Now I've got Kahlee here. You know, he's an armored figure. I love my asymmetry on here. So he's got the crest here on the lion. Okay, maybe a wash would look really nice on this, but that is really nitpicking on here. You know, I've got a little bit of purple on the skirt here. Their pegs are colored just right. So no, it's not pinless, but I don't care. It's not breaking up. It's not distracting the figure. I heard a great description for a toy earlier today. They were talking about the Jada Toys Fei Long. He called it hand candy. This is exactly what this is. You get these in your hand, you're just gonna naturally just find a good pose for him. And so as a toy, as an action figure, these are fantastic. My foam is not the best stable platform for him, but on a regular flat table, he balances fine. You know, they've got peg holes at the bottom. They didn't come with a stand. The other hands you do get a pair of fist hands, and Pale has these. You get your more gesturing hands. You get a pair of those. Yes, Pale has those as well. One thing that's dumb, but I love, is you get a little plastic baggie for them. So I can put all the accessories in here, and I'll keep everything together. So I can throw out the box. I don't feel like I need to keep the little plastic tray to keep everything together. That's great. Now here's where I get weird. We've got a lot of accessories with these guys. Like, for example, I think Pale would have been fine just with the 2 daggers and the sword. I think Kahlee's great with both the pistol and these swords, but again, I would have loved to have something for this to hang on. I don't think they need all the hands. I know, weird. Hands are great. I know, they had gestures, they had personality to them, but I don't think they need all these. What I think they could have used, though, was an alternate face sculpt for both of these guys. On Kahlee's box here, you look at his picture, and he's got this grimace on here. This is like a more cold, calculating look. He doesn't look like the evil villain. He looks more like the aged mentor, as opposed to who'd be teaching Pale to be a better soldier, as opposed to being the adversary. Let's look at Pale's box. Again, you look at Pale, and he's got this open scowl or grimace on his face, looking great and vicious. Here he's got this great smirk, which it's a good face, don't get me wrong, but here he looks, more tough. I think, again, an alternate head with this angered look for both their figures would have gone a mile for these. Another semi-subjective criticism is actually involving their backs. Not the back of the figures specifically, but the back of the heads. Kahlee's hair is incredibly long. And then we got this mohawk with the rat tail or ponytail on it. These affect the head articulation. They can't look up all the way because of it. I mean, they're flexible plastic. You can bend them aside and all. I'm sure you could then use hot water, cold water to put them back. But I just feel it kind of breaks the flow of everything. So like I can have these guys facing off each other, but I can't, have him bending forward and looking completely forward like, well, an animal. Give more of a savage crouch to it. So that's probably in the design, probably my biggest issue with it. These ponytails and Kahlee's hair. Another thing, I don't think Kahlee needed this cape, this little cape. Again, pulling back the box, he's got this flowing cape here. I think I really would have liked to have shorter hair and a version of this floating cape, or even a soft goods cape. I mean, I'm sure I could make one the way it is with simple cloth, but I think it would have you would have taken him to the next level on this. And this is, the cape thing, this is subjective. It's pure subjective on here, but this is my right to gripe. I paid the money for it. These are not the cheapest figures. At the same time, no point do I feel like I overpaid for these. 100%, I do not feel I've overpaid for these. You absolutely get your value. I am just completely being critical because, hey, this is a channel where people are watching me be critical about stuff. I've been meaner to Marvel Legends, trust me. The pans themselves, they do peg in and out pretty easy. No problem with that. Looking back on Kahlee's armor, I mean, every time I look at this, I catch more details. As I mentioned before, I think the wash would have given him a very good battle-worn look. At the same time, by having him pristine and clean, he does seem more like the type of a commander who leads from the back as opposed to charging into battle, which is not a bad thing. I mean, again, he's got presence. I just think he has a very regal, dignified look. Just, they're not evil bad guy look. So, I've got this whole thing in my head, personal canon. There's a reason why Kahlee uses a pistol. Is he's more of trying to be more man than animal man. I don't know if these guys are anthropomorphic. I don't have the comics on them. And then, Pale is trying to get back to his animal roots, per se. So that's why he's a little more savage. He's got the more close combat weapons. And I can get these great monkey kung fu poses out of him. It's fantastic. And so, that's a great way of ending the note on this. These figures, they are fantastic. I just feel like they could almost be that next level. I'm happy with these two. I'm not seeing myself needing to buy the entire wave. I don't see myself going ape for these guys. Hey. I mean, they've got other animals on there. They've got, if you go on their website, these just the main guys happen to be the monkeys or the apes. I absolutely think you should get yourself at least 1 or 2 in your collection. These would work very well as Knights of Wonder lore, if you're big into Fantastic Four lore. You know, you can have the the High Evolutionary and have these guys with him. If you've got, you know, the portal thing, you can have these guys coming from another dimension. So there's a lot of neat things. I definitely think they would add to your collection. They go very well with 6-inch figures. They do okay with 7-inch figures. I think at some point this week I'm going to do some photography with these guys and a Predator. I think it would go very well with that. Speaking of photography, there is not photography at the end of this video. You'd think with these guys begging for it, being as posable as they are, I really want to take my time on the photos, but I just was trying to get this video out after so much time. So keep an eye on my Instagram at TrueStarscreamer. And let me know your thoughts. If you bought these guys, tell me what you think. Am I out of line with my criticism on them? Let me know. These helps you make your decision. I personally say buy yourself 1 or 2 of these guys. They've got a lot of neat stuff on the line. It's a very creative thing. It's a great independent company. You can always catch the podcast with Kato on Kato's channel. There's a lot of neat stuff for these guys. But as always, feel free to drop a comment, hit a like, and until next time, take care. Peace.